The needle slipped. Dr. Pim Vereth had performed thousands of medical procedures in her career at the Galactic Medical Center. Her hands were famous for their precision. Her species had evolved for delicate biological work. But this time, she made a mistake. Her secondary hand trembled slightly. The syringe plunged deeper than intended. Instead of entering the surrounding nerve tissue, the needle slid directly into the human spinal canal. The compound flowed into the human's central nervous system. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then every alarm in the medical bay started screaming. Senior physician Korvox rushed toward the diagnostic station. "What did you inject him with?" he demanded. Vereth's voice felt empty. "Scifium-7 neural mapping compound." Korvox froze. His pale blue skin instantly shifted to a grey tone of panic. "In the spinal fluid," he whispered. Vereth nodded slowly. "Yes." Silence fell over the room. Scifium-7 was safe in tiny doses. But inside the cerebrospinal fluid, it was the most lethal neural toxin known in the galaxy. It destroyed the protective coating around nerves. Within seconds it triggered catastrophic neural collapse. No species had ever survived it. Not once. On the examination table, the human patient suddenly began to convulse. Marcus Webb's body arched violently. His muscles contracted so hard that his spine lifted off the table. Foam gathered at the corners of his mouth. The seizure lasted 47 seconds. Then Marcus Webb stopped moving. The monitor showed a flat line. Korvox slowly reached for the mortality scanner. Another diplomatic disaster, he thought. The human had been a guest of the station, recovering from a minor freighter accident. Now he was dead. But before the scanner touched Marcus's chest, the monitor beeped. One heartbeat appeared. Weak. Irregular. But real. Then another. Korvox stepped backward. "That is impossible." Marcus Webb's eyes suddenly opened. Bloodshot. Confused. And very much alive. He stared at the terrified alien doctors. Then spoke in a dry voice. "What the hell did you just do to me?" 12 hours later, Marcus Webb was still alive. He should not have been. Every toxicology model predicted total neural collapse within 30 seconds. Yet Marcus was sitting upright in bed drinking water. Chief Medical Officer Tandras studied him carefully. "What you survived," she said calmly, "should not be biologically possible." Marcus shrugged weakly. "Yeah, well, I feel pretty possible." Tandras activated a holographic scan. Marcus's nervous system appeared above the bed. Large red sections covered the model. "The compound destroyed 63% of your myelin sheath." Marcus blinked. "And I'm still walking. You should not even be breathing." Then the doctor zoomed in. Blue strands appeared across the red damage. "What's that?" Marcus asked. Tandras leaned closer. "Regeneration." Marcus frowned. "That's normal, right?" "No." Her voice carried quiet disbelief. "Your body is rebuilding the damaged nerve coating at 400 times the normal biological rate." The room went silent. "Your body," she continued slowly, "has declared war on the toxin." Marcus looked at his shaking hands. "Well, good." Later that day, Tandras asked Marcus an unusual question. "What did you feel during the seizure?" Marcus stared at the ceiling. "I thought I was dying." "That is accurate. It felt like drowning, but inside my nerves." He paused. But there was something strange. Tandras leaned forward. "What?" Marcus spoke quietly. "A thought that kept repeating in my head." "What thought?" Marcus smiled faintly. "Not yet." The doctors looked at each other. Humans were fragile. Weak bones. Soft skin. Short lifespans. Yet somehow this species kept surviving things that should kill them. 4 days later, Marcus collapsed. His heart stopped at 3:47 station time. Dr. Vereth was on night duty when the alarm triggered. She ran into the room. Marcus lay motionless. Flatline. Cardiac arrest. Alien resuscitation methods were useless for humans. But the medical database suggested something primitive. Chest compressions. Vereth climbed onto the bed and began pressing against Marcus's chest. Hard. Again. Again. Minutes passed. The other doctors watched silently. 3 minutes. 4 minutes. 5 minutes. Korvox finally spoke. Stop. His brain is already dead. But Vereth refused. No. She kept pushing. Come on, human. 6 minutes passed. Then, the monitor beeped. A single heartbeat returned. Marcus suddenly grabbed Vereth's wrist. His eyes opened. Easy, he croaked. Feels like you're trying to break my ribs. The entire room froze. He had been dead for 6 minutes. And he just came back. Chief Officer Tandras reviewed the metabolic scans. Then she understood something terrifying. Marcus's body had been repairing his nervous system so aggressively. It stopped supporting his heart. His body had made a decision. Fix the brain first. Even if the heart stopped. Marcus raised an eyebrow. So my body tried to kill me to save me. Yes. And it worked. Tandras nodded slowly. Your biology made a calculated gamble. A gamble no other species would survive. Marcus laughed weakly. Guess humans are good gamblers. But the doctors were not laughing. Because they were starting to understand something disturbing. Humans didn't just survive danger. Their bodies adapted during it. 6 weeks later Marcus Webb walked out of the hospital. The nerve damage was gone. Completely gone. New scans showed something incredible. His nervous system was now stronger than before. His body had over-repaired itself. Extra neural protection layers had formed around critical nerves. Tandras walked beside him. You didn't just heal, she said. You improved. Marcus laughed. Humans call that learning the hard way. News of Marcus's survival spread across the station. Medical researchers from dozens of species came to see him. To them he was not just a patient. He was a biological mystery. A species that survived lethal poison. Restarted its own heart. And rebuilt its own nervous system. One young researcher asked Tandras quietly, are humans dangerous? Tandras answered slowly, not dangerous. She paused. Resilient. At the departure bay, Tandras spoke honestly. When I first studied humans, I thought you were weak. Marcus laughed. Fair enough. You require oxygen, water, narrow temperature ranges. You are easily injured. She paused. But I was measuring the wrong thing. What should you measure? Tandras looked directly at him. How well a species survives when everything goes wrong. And humans. You are the best survivors I have ever seen. Tandras explained her theory. Humans evolved on a violent world. Ice ages. Plagues. Predators. Wars. Every generation survived disaster. Every generation passed that survival instinct forward. Your bodies expect catastrophe. Your biology prepares for it. Marcus nodded slowly. Earth was not exactly a friendly planet. Tandras continued. You are not strong because you avoid damage. You are strong because you survive it. Dr. Vereth approached Marcus nervously. I have requested a transfer to Earth's medical research station. Marcus smiled. Why? I want to understand humans. She hesitated. You survived my worst mistake. That changed everything I believe about medicine. Marcus extended his hand. Welcome to Earth. As Marcus boarded his transport, Tandras asked one final question. Why do humans fight so hard to survive? Marcus thought for a moment. Then he answered. Because every human alive today is descended from someone who refused to die. Ice ages. Wars. Diseases. Disasters. Every ancestor looked at death. And said the same words. Marcus smiled. Not yet. Final ending. The transport doors closed. Tandras watched the ship disappear into space. Then she whispered quietly. Not yet. She finally understood the truth. Humanity had not reached the stars because they were strong. They reached the stars because they never stopped surviving. And the galaxy had just learned something terrifying. Humans were not fragile. They were impossible to kill.